Welcome back, Wildflower. If this is your first time here, I'm so happy you found us. Over the next 30 days, we're exploring what happens when a woman stops waiting until she's ready and starts sharing what she's learning along the way. And today's conversation is one small step on that journey. If you'd like to go deeper, each episode here is paired with a companion lesson inside Inner Bloom. You can find all the details in the episode description. Now for today's conversation. Have you ever noticed how we admire women for sharing their stories, but somehow believe our own story isn't interesting enough to tell? Isn't that strange? We can immediately see the value in someone else's journey, but when it comes to our own, we call it ordinary. I did that for years, and the first time I shared my story publicly, I was terrified. My voice was shaking. I stumbled over my words. The technology wasn't cooperating, and I remember thinking, why am I doing this? But underneath all the nerves, something unexpected happened. I felt free. For the first time in a very long time, I was speaking my truth without shrinking it, without editing it to make someone else comfortable, without apologizing for what I had gone through, or what I believed, or who I was becoming. I was simply telling my truth. And something inside of me changed that day, and it's never changed back. But as time went on, the world did what the world always does. It started talking about followers and algorithms, engagement, going viral. And little by little, I almost didn't notice it happening. I started wondering whether my story mattered at all. Whether a woman without a huge audience had earned the right to take up space. I want to tell you something about that voice. The one that tells you your story doesn't matter until you have the numbers to prove it. That voice is lying to you. Your story doesn't need a following to be valuable. It doesn't need a verified account. It doesn't need a viral moment. It doesn't even need hundreds or thousands of people listening. It needs one woman. One woman that hears your story and quietly says, "Me too." Because she's out there right now, scrolling, searching, wondering if the life she dreams about is actually possible. She's not looking for someone who's finished. She's looking for someone who's honest, someone who's willing to say, "I'm learning this too." And Wildflower, that woman is looking for you. Not the polished version, not the expert, the real you. The one who's still walking the path, because that's how women have always learned. Long before podcasts and YouTube and social media, wisdom traveled from woman to woman, story to story, around fires, in kitchens, across generations. That's how we passed down courage. That's how we shared hope. That's how we reminded one another, you can survive this too. And today, we have something those women never had. We have the ability to share our stories across the world with one video, one post, one conversation. The story you're convinced is too ordinary, too messy, too unfinished? That may be the exact story another woman has been waiting to hear. Inside Inner Bloom, there's a course called Your Story is Your Superpower. And it's not because your story is extraordinary, but because it's yours. It teaches you how to stop waiting until you've arrived and start sharing what you're learning while you're still on the path. This month, I want you to stop waiting until you've arrived. Share what you're learning while you're still learning it. Because the woman who needs your story, she can't wait until you feel ready. She needs you now, exactly as you are. Today's Wildflower action step is this. Ask yourself, what is one lesson life has already taught me that can make another woman's path a little lighter? Write it down. You may have just discovered the beginning of the story that you're here to share. If today's conversation resonated with you, I'd love for you to subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's episode. And if you're feeling called to go a little deeper, You'll find the link to learn more about the full 30-day challenge in the episode description. I'll talk to you all tomorrow.